I like that you have kind of like joined in with me on getting on T-Rail's ass for sometimes like not allowing the conversation to move forward. Like just for an example, and T-Rail can answer this on your podcast tomorrow, but we're talking about DaBaby getting canceled, and he's basically like denying that anything bad is happening to DaBaby. I'm like, he got kicked off 6 festivals. What are we talking about? It's a big deal. Just admit it's a big deal and let's talk about it.
Pun sent him another one today and said, thoughts, T-Rail. He's like, holla at me in November.
I mean, it's just gotten so much gnarlier. They're treating him like he's fucking Adolf Hitler. Like, they can't book him for anything. But yeah, that's what Tory's life is probably like. He probably ain't get booked on any of those, you think?
But see, this is the thing with Tory.
He really shot himself in the foot there. No pun intended.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Or someone else.
Tory is independent, and he has enough fans, and he's dropping enough music that them checks is not really going to affect him like that. He's not tied to no major
You don't
label.
think DaBaby's got other sources of revenue?
I'm just saying it's different when you're an independent artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, different people like him are making so much money on the back end of the fucking music that they don't have to go do all these festivals and shit like that to survive and shit. I don't know DaBaby situation to where, like, you know what I'm saying, if this is going to really affect him or not.
No, DaBaby's going to be good regardless.
DaBaby will be good in the long run, but the thing that you miss out on when you just say something simplistic like that is that DaBaby was a lot and may still be a lot bigger than the average, rapper. He was able to do a lot of things that a lot of rappers just simply can't. There's a lot of popular ass rappers out there that are not on a single with Dua Lipa that's doing 700 million views or whatever.
Yeah,
that
she's
was
like
probably a huge bag for him and opened up a ton of
corporate dollars.
I never even heard the song. I have no fucking clue.
I've never heard it either
at all. DaBaby, no offense, Dua Lipa, whoever the fuck you are, no offense. I never heard the song, but that kind of shit is huge.
And the fact that she came out and like publicly denounced him as well.
Right, and the fact that even on, him being booked super high up on those festivals and stuff. I mean, that's like a big, big look that you just don't get. If you're NBA YoungBoy, might not have been booked for those kind of things because of him being controversial or Kodak Black. I wouldn't be surprised if dudes like that were left off of the bill on shit like Lollapalooza because they're woke as fuck. Like, when you look at the bill, it's not like a ton of rappers. It's like,
yeah, it's only a couple.
It's only like the pre-selected rappers that are like hip enough and well-liked enough by like the fucking loser-ass 30-year-old white crowd that they're willing to put them in that position. So DaBaby now is in a very different position where it's like there's no doubt in my mind that he could go and play high up on a festival. There's no doubt in my mind that he's talented enough musically that he could probably bounce back from a lot of this.
Yeah.
But at least in the short term, because like one of the things that DaBaby came out with when they were like dissing him and shit, he said, Lollapalooza this weekend and like put the date and shit. Like, because that to him, he's saying,
fuck you guys.
I'm so big and I'm getting all these crazy ass looks, you can't cancel me. I mean, they took that as a fucking challenge as far as I'm concerned.
And did you see what Bandman Kevo said, basically?
What?
He was saying that these festivals are using this as promotion for their festivals.
Hell yeah.
And like half these festivals that he's getting dropped from, I didn't even know nothing about them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Can we name any of the other ones besides
Vegas,
Governor's Ball?
The Governor's Ball.
Oh,
I know about all these festivals, but it's
he
not
got
like
dropped from Governor's Ball.
They don't enter into my consciousness ever
until it's like someone's talking about it that week.
The whole thing
Day in Vegas.
Yeah, the whole thing about it is that I think DaBaby's being canceled from entirely forces outside of hip hop.
The community.
Rap music, nobody gives a fuck. It's not like the World Star page is like, we got to get DaBaby out of here. It's not like Academics is defending him. I'm defending him. Fucking basically every loud boy, T.I., Boosie, all these people that are basically like huge figureheads in hip hop either are kind of sort of defending him or fully having his back. But it doesn't matter when a big chunk of your revenue is coming from people who basically are just going to do whatever the fuck the woke crowd tells them to do. And it turns out Lollapalooza and all this shit is basically that.
I know. They're just succumbing to it.
Can you imagine DaBaby playing at Lollapalooza? This is almost like a worse thing that probably would have actually happened. If he actually played Lollapalooza and there was like a lot of people booing him, which I don't think that would happen at like a hip hop festival, but I think that for Lollapalooza, that might actually be a reality. And that would be a really fucking bad look if DaBaby was up there performing and they were just fucking treating him like a total piece of shit. I mean, that would have been bad optics as well.
Yeah.
We might have done him some favors by getting kicked off of that shit because at least now I mean, I don't know exactly what his plan is, but he did put out another apology. Like all his apologies before were basically non-apologies.
It was like him doubling down more than anything.
Now he has a new apology that is basically like what the woke people would actually want to hear from DaBaby.
You feel like it's too late now?
I think in a lot of ways it is too late because it's so transparent that this is only really happening now that his money and his career are being threatened.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that almost anyone is looking at his apology and thinking like, oh, okay, he's not homophobic after all, especially after he doubled down on it, you know?
And you know, too, like what people were saying is like, okay, you guys idolize people who talk in their music about killing people and selling drugs and do all type of stuff. And then this situation happens and it's like, okay, the draw was line. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucked up though. Like, you know, the whole thing is fucked up, bro, of how this shit is going.
And one thing that a lot of people pointed out, which is very fair, is like, I think it was Lollapalooza or one of these festivals, they replaced DaBaby with Young Thug. Now, Young Thug has had some extremely controversial tweets, said some stuff that was basically, you know, seen as being homophobic or not friendly to the gays. Obviously, it's very different since, like, people really took DaBaby's rant on stage as being full on, like, condemnation of homosexuality, which I don't think Young Thug has ever said anything that really suggested, like, anything like that. And obviously, he's one of the rappers who's, like, the most embedded in, like, you know, basically pushing the limits of what it is to be a traditional rapper. So, but I mean, you know, when you have, it's not about like, oh, this guy has said something negative about gay people during his life, but DaBaby, when he's in the middle of this controversy, that's what they don't want to co-sign, you know? And like in that group chat, they're like comparing fucking DaBaby to Boosie. It's like, yeah, Boosie has a good career. Though. Boosie's probably making a couple $1 million a year, however much, and I'm sure he's fine. But he's not getting a high up spot at fucking Lollapalooza and shit. Like, Boosie has paid the price in his career for saying all the controversial shit that he said over the years. And, you know, I mean, even like the stuff about getting his fucking 13-year-old son's dick sucked by a grown-ass woman.
Yeah, that was so out of pocket.
There are people who are, you know, you're maybe just not going to get like an Adidas fucking campaign if you come out in the past and said like, hey, like, you know, I let a grown woman suck a little kid's dick in front of me. I mean, that at a certain point.
That's fucking insane.
And I say that as someone who is actually pretty sympathetic to Boosie's perspective of, I mean, if I had a 13-year-old son, I probably would not pay a grown woman to suck his dick, but I'm not really that surprised that Boosie thought that was normal. I guess I was a little surprised that he would say it on camera and not really give a fuck.
Yeah. I think people need to, like, differentiate, like, the things that go through their head versus the things that come out of their mouth.
But that's kind of the problem is that, like, you know, DaBaby probably feels the way he felt when he said, don't put your phone up in the air if you suck the dick in the parking lot and you got AIDS and it's gonna kill you in 2 weeks. That's probably like how he really feels.
But like
he in that moment, and by bringing Tory out, I feel like if this comment didn't become so controversial, the fact that he brought Tory out right after Meg would have been hugely controversial. It just got overshadowed by the anti-gay thing.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing until later on.
All this is just DaBaby doing whatever the fuck he wants to do because he feels like I'm so big that nobody's going to tell me shit. And then, I mean, the gay community and everybody who enables them in the media and shit really took the challenge on.
Didn't like Elton John reach out and say something too?
And
Madonna.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, we've never seen anything like this. To me,
I've never seen anything.
Demi Lovato.
This is the beginning of the hip hop culture wars of hip hop being dumbed down or having its edge rounded off by the forces outside of hip hop. So like all these like non-rap fans or people who are not really part of the culture, rap's always like escaped a lot of that criticism. You know, rappers have been able to say things in songs that were objectively racially insensitive or offensive to gay people or offensive to women, etc. And they've always, you know, like you can't think of any other art form in the world where it's normal to call a woman a bitch.
But you can grow up listening to shit like anal cunt and it's fine to go to their concerts and shit.
We're not talking about anal cunt right now.
I'm just saying. There's the other genres. White people do that dumbass shit and rock and there's all type of crazy shit. And they allow it to tour the rest of their life.
I'm going to correct you on that.
You said they had a song about the N-word.
You're talking about a grindcore band that probably had like 4,000 followers at their peak.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm
like
thinking
not that popular.
I'm thinking they're the Rolling Stones of your time.
No. And I was like briefly, like weirdly obsessed with them in like 1998. So that, I mean, okay, let's just objectively say, let's say you had a metal band and they had lyrics where they were saying shit about, you know, fuck all these bitches or like bitches ain't shit, etc. Hell no. They're out of here. They're getting canceled hard. The metal community and the hardcore community, they're woke. Well, not all of it. Because it's also like that community is also like where all the racists go.
Yeah.
Well, no, like the metal community. I realized this from talking to Finn McKenty on my interview with him.
Is he racist?
Check out. No, he's very anti-racist.
He good, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Guy. But
McKenty.
all I'm saying... McKenty. All I'm saying is that rap has always kind of been allowed to do its own thing and be offensive and say whatever they want. And there's certain things they're not going to come for. Like Madonna is not going to put out a statement and say, I'm sick and tired of all this killing in Chicago.
Yeah.
Lil Durk, you need to do something about this. She's
right.
not going to do that. But they'll go for the low-hanging fruit, you know? Like, oh, you said something bad about gay people? I fuck with gay people. We're going to all attack you and turn up on you and decrease your standing and cost you millions of dollars.